the Genocide in American Ghettos podcast. I'm your host, Emmanuel Barbee. I would like to encourage everyone on my Facebook friends list, everyone in my social groups, and all of my listeners from around the globe. Please do me a favor. Hit the like button, subscribe to my YouTube page, share this video podcast on all social media sites you are on, such as Facebook, Instagram, community advocates, and spiritual leaders to make arrangements with me to come on this platform so that you can meet your services, share a 30-minute sermon with my listeners from the global community. We want to grow this platform for the community throughout the diaspora. For 32 years, Americans have taken me for joke, specifically Chicagoans. They rejected and overlooked me do something positive from the racial group. To use this film project to reach the masses in the black world. Let them know. Ethiopia, Tanzania, Uganda, Angola, Liberia, Coast Ghana, and Nigeria. Please purchase my revised book, either the ebook or the free. Using the because it's membership based. We will pray for them, show them tough love, and keep it moving. Question at hand. How long will it take for this film project to get fully funded and made? It's up to the Black grassroots and the global African family. We encourage non-Black sympathizers to patronize our film project, but it's Black Americans and African immigrants who are CAM members' responsibility to build it and to own it. I try to host my show every week in order to engage people on my friends list and people in my social groups until I am able to raise the funds for this film project. Once the proceeds from the film starts coming in, then I would be in a better position financially to purchase property in Chicago, this equipment, and then the United States, and building seems to be given assignment, which is to build the best African American business within the United States of America. This is a Nehemiah assignment. I mean, event. Please mark your calendar for the StreamYard event, Saturday, October 2024. CAM Virtual Conference, Saturday, October 2024. Being trapped in America. Still Mhm. Issue with us. They don't want to give us economic tangibles. Maybe, maybe, maybe on the link, scroll down to your group. He said, he is a so you did nothing to prevent you from losing your seat. AOC ain't said a word about the conflict in Israel. That's why she still have her seat. Representative has been speaking out against the Israel Hamas conflict because the Somalian community stands with her and people will come out and vote for keep Hamas. You should feel ashamed of yourself at this point to be camping for the Democrats and except black issues. They're looking at the numbers. That's why they had Dick Johnson to come out to encourage black men to vote for Harris. He was a great basketball player. Give him to him about politics. None of these black leagues or should have self unity in the then maybe he wouldn't lose his seat. He lost his seat because he didn't stand on business of black. If he was focusing more on reparations and being an advocate for an anti hate crime bill, I believe he would still have his seat. That's a lesson for all these black politicians. Don't get involved with other people's business. Focus on minding your own video. BC News. Really, so to it's like with children. It's real, especially from support for he made hope plan over Supreme. He, even though candidates he's been backing, they're continuing to lose their seats. Yet the Democrats still want still this marketing gimmick, twenty 2012. He lose two things. One, he did not lift sanctions America imposed on Zimbabwe. He also did the dirty work of claiming between so that he can steal natural resources. Secondly, his administration gave reparations to American Jews, an incident which did not happen in America, and yet he openly opposed reparations for descendants of slaves slash free. Don't don't take my word for it. Just go to my Medium transcript located in the comment section below this video podcast. Click on the link and scroll down to show and prove because I come with receipts. Under Obama, Black Lives Matter rising and protests around the country were open to his inaction because we couldn't get justice from the so-called justice that was taking place. In fact, he created gives more protection, which is to the community. He should never be able to show his face in black and white. So when people start talking about Trump, it's going to give unity. Really did. do something just for you to any constituent. She would never say that to people from the Asian community. She would never say that to people from the Latino community. She would never say that to the people from the immigrant community. She would never say that to people from the LGBT community. She would never say that to people from the Jewish community. Only the black community. There's nothing more. It's a plan, but hey, it is what it is. And now what I talked about in that book is starting to come to pass, especially with the migrant crisis. They're here in Chicago, and Chicagoans going to have to deal with it. Like Chicagoans, America have two choices: either embrace annihilation or embrace survival. We're able to flex our power because we're now starting to delineate ourselves from these other groups who piggybacking off our struggle. Every time we try to make power moves, all of a sudden these quote Negroes and trying to do. They attempt to mess up the collective codified concept. Still people still live within the community. We're going to separate ourselves from those off-code Negroes, domestic coons, tethers, anyone uh, that's not like-minded, because we want to get things done and be productive. And I can't deal with someone that doesn't have ambition. Once we get our film project fully funded and made, and the proceeds from the film starts pouring in, then together, both like-minded Black Americans and like-minded African immigrants who are CAM members build the Grassroots Community Institute of Chicago, who will host mandatory orientations. Anyone who comes through our doors will be vetted, screened. Everyone must pass a criminal check, sign a community pledge, and submit their print to be placed in a database so that way we know doing what to the business and making sure that everybody's doing their. We're not working with that Hindu mammy. We standing on lineage and standing on business, which I've been trying to teach CAM members this whole time. These people are trying to erase us from American history, and that is to the elites. Genocide can get through. That's why anytime we get something going, they try to prevent us from getting resources allocated to our lineage. We see this in the political realm. Look at the gatekeepers. It's always either a domestic coon or a tether. For example, the reparations task force around the country. Notice the people who were in charge of the reparations task force in California. They were black Democrats and they were all domestic coons from the soil. In New York, they Caribbean tethers on the reparations task force. Keep in mind, white supremacist financial elites who's putting these people in key positions where they're dictating where resources is going. Again, I'm not running for public office, trying to build this thing from the ground up, getting financial support from groups and the global African family. Because, yes, it is being dictated. They're the ones funding those. Looking for support. support. We got to, you know, support, you know, they, Again, years going here to replace us. 32 years ago, also can wrote about it in his book. You know, bring Christian business to deal, you know, in certain Caribbean. Again, we didn't on this video podcast, and let's talk about it so we can encourage other people to get involved. Paying for this business title, I've been paying for it since 2019, actually since 2010. But that's another story. That was the when I was trying to do it as a for profit, but couldn't find investors. So I shut it down, and then I decided to do it as a nonprofit back in 2019. In the city, state, and the state doing a sequel film there. I'm also going to apply for dual citizenship so that way um, Native Americans can take me serious. Instead, for the Democrats, you do that. resources away from us and children. You're voting for 25 million to 30 million illegal immigrants, uh, getting all types of benefits such as food stamps, uh, free phones, free medical care, free health care, while children would end up suffering because they're the ones that's, the future. So I'm trying to fight for our children. Um, the Democrats, they say they money for our nations when we ask for things, um, but they can come up with $4 billion for illegal immigrants who just crossed the border, especially the ones that's coming here illegally. That's what we don't like. It's really sad that our people don't understand what's happening to our communities, and this is how these illegal immigrants, with the support of uh, vote, this is why this is happening. Voting for Democrats, young. I think a lot of us are waking up to what's really going on in our communities nationwide. This is why their number is struggling. That's why Kamala Harris is struggling with the in the polls right now. The only time the left wing media will talk about racism is if they can put racism on the Republican sides. Don't let them get away with that because they practice the same anti-black racism on the left. Descendants of American slaves slash freemen in the United States of America, we should be able to enjoy all the rights in this country. And the U.S. government owes us reparations. Vice President Kamala Harris is not doing well with black men. 80, 78% support her and 15% support. If the election was held today, more women walking away from the Democrat since it's taken a stand, and that's good. That's good. So now we're with this. It's not working because we know that they're in the pockets of the white supremacist financial elites. They're getting paid to mislead us. They think we're silly enough to listen to actors and sports figures and do whatever they want us to do. And so now they decided to bring out Barack Obama. Um, why are black men being belittled in ways that no other voting has to go through? So unless former President Barack Obama is going to go out and lecture every other group of men from other identity groups, my message to the Democrats is don't bring that to us. Don't think I'm going to do is reward anyone who disrespects me. Once you let people disrespect you, they will continue. I lost part of my speech, so just bear with me. Yes, I read my speeches without shame because I want to make sure that I'm staying on point. That's all. The reason why you don't see enthusiasm for to do with them blaming, speaking down to saying nothing to white men and East Indian men. The enthusiasm him was that he was very articulate. He wanted to be the president of the United States of America. We saw him um, as a black man like us. So Americans, decided. So many black people in this country in 2008 because Obama was perceived to be, fast forward to 2024, that's not going to work anymore. We're not voting on skin color. We're paying close attention to political candidates if they're the soil or not. Americans, Black Americans understand voter empathy. That's out there. That's Obama's fault, not yours. Because he had 8 years in the White House and did nothing for Black America. He didn't promise us anything. All he talked about was hope and change. He's the reason why Hillary Clinton lost the election. It was him getting his finger at Americans, talking about protecting his legacy. His legacy is LGBT, and he called black men super predators too. And so the Just what we're going to do in this business. That's what I'm trying to start. It's not easy. Um, we have to separate ourselves again from collaborators, which are the domestic coons who work for the white supremacist financial elites. Their objective is to keep the division among black men and black women and to destroy the African American community. Notice when we start to pull away from the Democrat Party, the delineating things start to turn around. We need to delineate all these other groups in this country, no matter where they're from. These different people around us have their agendas, and it's not for the betterment for Black Americans. I'm trying to get a radio deal or a television deal. I'm here to help serve like-minded Black Americans and like-minded African immigrants here in America, and for us to build this business together so that we can replicate it again in Africa, Brazil, and in the Caribbean. We're talking about he suspects there's once again he's reminding us that he view us totally different from everyone else, and that he's given himself a license to talk to us. Whatever we want them to vote. Their objective is to neutralize the black vote just like they did in California. What they're doing is criminal. To put an end to this, American citizens have to put pressure on their elected officials and demand that they hold these mega corporations accountable, such as having them be fined and arrest illegal immigrants that's working for them and seize all their assets. Then that will send a message to illegal immigrants to return to their homeland. They're being incentivized to come here because they're told about all the free benefits and resources that they're receiving once they cross the borders. Harris is um, she's okay for open borders because she identified herself as immigrant, drowning us under them, keeping us disenfranchised. In summary, former President Obama gave a, a speech to black men to support him. He suggests that men won't support her, then perhaps we have to when you use identity politics. It suggests that people can be into full own interest. Skin color, Dr. Luther King Jr. on Washington, jobs and freedom. He spoke about his dream for America and in his Have a Dream speech. He said, have a dream that one day my four little children will live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. And I believe that the narrative that former President Barack Obama is speaking right now undermines the King Jr.'s dream and suggests that we are in a nation that define people by the skin and content of the hair. Men voted based on the content of a person's character, knowing that we're created and made in the image according to Psalms 139, verse 14. To me, this seems to be political manipulation and dictation. And in Time Chicago, our objective is to work together with like minded Americans and like minded African immigrants in America so that we can build our families, build our community, and create black institutions such as schools, restaurants, and medical clinics that we own and control. Any black man at this point that will give their vote to Kamala Harris, you are disrespecting yourself and our ancestors. Obama has done nothing for the African American community since he left office. Please leave a public comment about the topic in the comment section below this video. Share with your friends. Maybe would like to thank everyone who have contributed or will contribute to support us. Through the legitimate 1T3 nonprofit community advocacy organization. You can also purchase items from the actual store or purchase Facebook. The ebook is $9.99 or $15 plus shipping. You take. You can find